people, hope you've had a fantastic week, and first of all we want to really appreciate you for subscribing on our YouTube channel as well as following us on Instagram and Facebook. So last week we covered art. Today we are going to talk about. We made a trip to Hell's Gate sometime last month. I think it was on 11th of August. This trip had been organized by one of our friends called Laila. She'd liaised with the Mufasa Travel, so the only thing that we had to do was to make the payment, and everything else had been taken care of. So we left Nairobi at around 7:30 a.m. and our first stopover was at the Great Rift Valley Viewpoint. But that did not stop us from having fun because we were really psyched. So we stepped out of the vehicle to go and enjoy the fresh air that was coming down the mountains. The beauty about this place is that the road is uphill, and then down there you can be able to see the beautiful green landscapes with a few houses. You know, it's very, very beautiful, as you can see on the photos. And then there are also, in as much as it was really early, you could be able to purchase, say, Masai shukas and African jewelry or African wear from the curio shops that were already open that early morning. After about 30 minutes, we went back, or photo taking, of course, with the girls. We expect so many photos to be taken. So after about 30 minutes, we headed back. We continue with our journey to Hell's Gate. So finally, we reached our destination, Hell's Gate. At the entrance, the first thing that we were supposed to do was to present our national ID so that they can verify whether we are citizens or non-citizens, because there are different charges for citizens, residents and non-residents. For citizens, we paid 300 shillings, but then Mufasa had already taken care of this, so the only thing was for the driver to verify everything, and we were given the go-ahead. And at the entrance, there are some people with bicycles, so if you wanted to cycle from the entrance to, say, Hell's Gate or Geospatial or Geothermal Spa, you could be able to get a bike for rent and then you head there. But for us, we went straight there because that was not part of our plan. And along the way, from the entrance, that stretch between the entrance to Hell's Gate itself, we were able to see different wildlife like the zebras, the warthogs and the gazelles. So just before we got to Hell's Gate itself, we stopped briefly for a moment of photos because the view was really, really good, and there are not so many cars, so we parked aside and took a few photos along the way. But then after a few minutes, some people told us, the passers-by told us that it was not really safe for us to do that because there are some animals roaming around, so we had to go back and get to where we're supposed to be. At the entrance, we were assigned a tour guide. This is at Hell's Gate itself. We were assigned a tour guide who took us through the brief history of the place, and we started by seeing some animal skulls, the dead bones of different animals, just right before we started the hiking. So after that, we started the hiking, and the most important thing about hiking is that you need good shoes that have good grip, because the rocks are really slippery and also the cliffs are narrow, so you need something that to avoid accidents you need some really, really good shoes like rubber shoes or sport shoes. See how it went. Tour guide took us through the different caves, explaining to us, giving us some information about the places that we were passing. Like there was like a small stream of water, and then in some other places the water was coming from the rock, some warm water, so we got to play around with the water. And then we didn't reach the devil's bedroom because the deeper you go the tougher it becomes, and some of us were not that fit, plus we were really psyched to go to the spa. And at the end of the hiking we got to a small market where they were selling some African stuff, and we managed to get these, and then we headed back to where we had parked so that we can go back to the spa. So we started the journey to the geothermal spa. Our focus of the trip, because this is the place that we could have even gone from 10 a.m. but we had to go through Hell's Gate and get that experience also. Along the way you could feel the strong smell of the chemicals coming from the Olkaria plant, and when we reached there, the entrance fee was 400 shillings per adult, but already Mufasa had taken care of all this. So the geothermal spa has 3 pools. The receiving pool, which is 90 degrees Celsius, and then there's the second pool at 60 degrees Celsius, and then the third pool at 30 degrees Celsius. So we didn't go to these other pools because they're unsafe, obviously. So we went to the third pool that also gets water from the second pool through some lagged pipes. And other than this main third pool, there's also a smaller pool for kids below 8 years age, and we had so much fun at the pool. And the beauty about this place is that even if you're not a good swimmer, you can be able to still enjoy the waters because there are different steps, and you can still get to immerse yourself but at a safe distance. And at the end of the day we were really relaxed, and we got to unwind because it was a good experience, just a relaxing thing that once in a while you should try and go and have for yourself. That about 2 weeks after our visit to the place, some local tourists lost their lives, and we pray that management is really doing something to avoid occurrence of such a thing in future, because in as much as we'd like to convince you to visit the place, there's that fear of not wanting to go there after such a thing. The good news is you can always opt to visit the spa without having to go to the gorges, and so that you can just enjoy your time feeling very safe. That's it for today. Just comment and press the like button if you like what you've done today, and watch out for our next clip. Thank you.
Our Facebook page is @and about with Winnie and JD. Please head over there.